Hello, welcome to another episode of Beyond Chronic Disease. My name's Wendy Gathercole and I am joined by, I don't know, whatever I'm trying to say, with Caroline Watson. Hi Caroline, how are you?
Great, Wendy, thank you for inviting me.
That's okay. I've joined you and I've invited you. And Caroline is from Thriving Possibilities. So I just want to tell you a little bit about Caroline. She was born and raised in South Australia and as a child had a natural affinity to nature and a profound energetic connection to both animals and the earth. Oh, that sounds interesting. And Caroline began her career in commerce and financial services. And after a physical and emotional burnout, she used this opportunity to transform her worldview, which resulted her reconnection with her natural awareness of subtle energies and her advanced energetic capabilities, which I have experienced personally. Caroline's approach to her healing modalities is profoundly empowering and encouraging. Her clients leave with the sense that a distinct shift has occurred and these pathways have opened, which is what happened to me, with little to no resistance felt by the client as a result of her application of Access Consciousness bars, Access Energetic Facelift, and Access Body Processes. Joyous people contribute to a healthy planet, and Caroline delights in expanding the possibilities for both to thrive. Caroline is currently based in Southeast Queensland's beautiful Redland Bay area, with sessions available both in person and online, and classes available anywhere in Australia. And I'll put all of that in the show notes. So Caroline, how did you get to where you are today?
A very long and winding road. Like most of us, it doesn't end up being very linear. And so when my marriage broke down, I entered another one and we had all the combined stresses of blended family and juggling jobs and long commutes and divorce proceedings in court, all of that, and the emotional turmoil. It all just got a bit too much. And I had chronic fatigue, adrenal fatigue, whatever you want to call it. It knocked me for six. And I got diagnosed with depression and anxiety, and I was taking the prescriptions, but they were making me feel like less than myself. And so I just started looking to see if there was another way that I could regain my sense of self. And in the end, I've done that and gone way beyond that. So
you have.
Similar to your journey.
You have, and I'm just looking at my face. It's very hot in my room today, as you can probably see. Yes. We talk about depression and so forth, and everyone pops those antidepressants, and we've all, lots of us have been there, and they do take away your sense of self, don't they? They just seem to numb you and I don't know. I didn't feel better as such. I still had all those limiting self-belief thoughts and, why aren't I good enough still? And, even though I was taking these antidepressants, is that what happened with you? Or?
Yeah, it also felt to me like it switched off some part of me that was actually the part of me that I still liked. And so I didn't have access to that anymore either. It numbed me, but it didn't relieve that sense of depletion, which I think for me, depression was actually depletion. I just had nothing left in the tank to give. And I was still trying to push through. And life felt like walking through knee-deep sludge. Just, constant, having to force.
I guess that's, like I said, it didn't change much for me. Like, I had bouts of like being happy, but it just felt like it did, like you say, it sort of turned off that one, that switch that was really you, that you liked. I mean, that's what I sort of found, not in those words, but it just had like one sense of your brain on all the time, and it wasn't any clearer. I probably did what everyone thinks or knows to be the wrong thing and just went cold turkey on them. And That's not pretty, is it? I don't know what you did. It wasn't feeling good for a few days, I can tell you.
Yeah, I can't actually remember exactly how I came off and what the process was, but I knew that it wasn't something I was going to choose long term. And so, yeah, from my vague memory of that time, it was a more gradual approach, grasping another lifeline before I let go of that lifeline.
That's probably good advice, listeners. So listen to Caroline. So how did you get from there to? I see you've got a lot of access consciousness in your repertoire. How did you get from where you were to access? What brought you to there?
Yeah, well, this good little Christian girl decided to take a step into a whole other dimension and attend a mind, body, spirit fair one day. I took my 2 kids along, and it was like opening a Pandora's box, all the crystals and the essences and the weird people doing weird things and wearing weird clothes. But I took a chance and I paid $15 for 15 minutes of Reiki. And I sat in the chair and the lady put her hands somewhere near my head. And I just felt this massive energetic bubble, like a big balloon, expand out from my head. And it was so undeniable. I just went, okay, well, there is something to this. It's obviously not the made up imaginary thing that I've been told all my life. And so I explored that, eventually became a Reiki master. And it was through swapping with fellow Reiki practitioners. One of them introduced me to the bars. And that was a whole other eye-opening experience in itself. 15 minutes of that, and I could feel the shifts happening in my brain. And yeah, feel these energetic rubber bands almost coming out of my forehead. It was, again, another undeniable experience. And within 2 weeks, I learnt it and practiced it very regularly ever since then. And that's been 7 years.
7 years.
Yeah.
And you don't look depressed to me.
No.
So on that note, I just want to tell the listeners how I came about meeting you. So I was going through a little bit of a monkey mind, monkey chatter brain, couldn't sleep, and having lots of thoughts and so forth running through it. And even though I, a fairly consistent meditator, it was helping to a certain degree, but then it just didn't help clear at all. Now, my cousin put me onto Access, and I try anything, because if it's worth, trying to clear up something, that's really paramount to your health, I'll try it once. And I remember coming to you, and you did what you did, and you did what you did. Okay, so you can explain what the bars is. People, it's just like sort of touching your head really gently. That's about all it really is. But Caroline can explain it in more detail. And I had the best night's sleep, and I was just so cool, calm, and just loved walking out of your healing, I call it a healing room. And it was just, I was in a different world. I haven't looked back since. And I think thanks to Access, I am here talking to you. I've got a podcast happening. And it's all because of Access. So tell us, why is it so profound? Or what experiences have people had with you? And what does it do?
Yeah. Well, the results are so varied, it's hard to pinpoint. And it really depends on where the person is at the time and what they're desiring to change, and also what they're willing to change, because ultimately it's about what we're willing to let go of that creates space for what's going to come in next. It's been an absolute honor to see you hit the ground running, actually, Wendy. It's been amazing and very inspiring. Yeah. Within a couple of weeks after that session, you'd chosen to do a class and learn it yourself. And I just think that's wonderful. So that's one example of what happened. You saw it, you loved it, you grabbed it by the hands, and then so many aspects of your life have changed since then. Other people, it helps them sleep better, and that's great. And yeah, I get told I help people sleep. or put people to sleep. And in most cases, that wouldn't be a compliment, but with so many people struggling to sleep, perhaps it is.
Maybe we can both put them to sleep with this podcast. Yeah. Who knows?
But I had a lovely client last week who has had an absolutely stressful time at work, hasn't been able to switch off when she gets home from it, constantly waking up 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock with different ideas of what to implement at work, but not sleeping properly and then not having the energy to actually implement them. And so I saw her Thursday night, ran her bars. She slept better than she slept in weeks after that. And she had an RDO on the Friday, didn't think about work, didn't stress about work. She's got her private life back again. Yeah.
That's just a profound life-changing experience there, isn't it? So, So can you explain a little bit about, I know you do have a lot of little magic things in your repertoire. I call it magic because it just is magic. Can you explain the bars a little bit more in detail?
Yeah, so there's 32 different points on the head, and we just touch them really gently, just a little butterfly touch. The client, the recipient just lays there, relaxes. They can fall asleep if they like, they can talk if they like. But as we just touch these points on the head, it's like touching the positive and negative terminals on a battery. Just allows some energy to run gently through there, just some microcurrents, and that shifts blockages like your thoughts, feelings, emotions, things we've held on to that are slowing us down. So if you think about junk files in a computer, helps get all that dross out so that then everything can function more efficiently, more effectively, with more ease. And it clears things related to what the points are called. So you've got things like power, control, awareness, body, sexuality, kindness, gratitude, peace and calm. Lots of things we like more of in our life.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love that you know them off the top of your head. Of course you do. I don't. Going on. Thank you for that. You explain it so well. I did do a class with Caroline a session with Caroline, and I did do a class straight away because I just noticed such a profound change in me. And then I did another class, and I am a bars facilitator now because I've done the 3 classes, and I've had some profound changes in some of my clients as well. So it's amazing, isn't it? And so I don't know who. So I'm talking to myself, sorry. So that's the bars. And we both agree that it's just amazing.
Yeah, definitely. Life-changing. For me, it made me laugh more.
Yeah. I know it's hard to explain, isn't it? I think everyone just needs to get their bars run. Hey.
Yeah, exactly. We'll try it out. You're not going to lose anything except an hour on the table. You end up feeling more relaxed. That's the worst case scenario.
Yeah. And what's the best case scenario?
Your whole life will change.
Yes. And it does. It can. So what's the access, the facelift, the energetic facelift all about? Does that mean we don't have to get Botox anymore and all that stuff?
Hey, look, we can always choose Botox as well if we want. No judgment here.
No.
Whatever makes you happy. And sometimes there are medical reasons for requiring it too.
Yes.
But yeah, the facelift is just like this yummy, nurturing basket of energies. You can run it on the face, but it also targets your whole body. And it's, for me, the best way to describe it is like a hug for every cell. It's just this beautiful, yummy, warm energy that runs through your whole body, gives you more ease, reduces inflammation, reduces stress, helps trigger those natural healing mechanisms that we all have. And there's just been amazing results as far as skin quality, the glow, that feeling of ease, that bit more energy through the day, all sorts of results from it.
And how long would that, like the bars is typically about an hour. So how long is the facelift for?
Usually about an hour and a half. I find that really allows people to drop right down deep into it, fall asleep as well, and really receive that full benefit. But in saying that, if somebody only had half an hour to receive it, they would still give them an indication of what it's like for their body and whether they like it. And they can always choose a longer session the next time.
And with the bars, I must say, and I've had one of those as well, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. With the bars, and we typically do that for an hour, but is there any benefit in doing it shorter time?
Well, I say some bars is better than no bars.
Yep.
So if you only have 20 minutes to run somebody's bars, go ahead and do it. It's going to create change. I've run plenty of sessions at markets and things like that. It's a noisy environment. People are rushed. They've got other things they need to get to. If they choose 20 minutes, they drop in that chair and they get back up with a smile and often feeling a bit dizzy and, oh, where am I? Something shifted.
Yeah.
So 20 minutes makes a huge difference.
That's amazing, isn't it?
Yeah.
And does this is this safe to use on, like, does this work on children, and is it safe to use and all of the above? Does it hurt anybody in any area of their wellness or unwellness, I guess?
No, you can't break anybody. Sometimes change can be a little bit uncomfortable and confronting. So sometimes if things change quickly afterwards, for a moment it can feel like, oh, what have I done by receiving the bars? But the change that shows up is always greater than what we had before. So yeah, you're not going to cause any physical injury. There's no contraindications for anybody. So they could have a pacemaker, they could have epilepsy, anything like that, and they're still going to be able to receive a session.
And what about, like, when I'm quite open, I have an open mind for anything, like anything that can help you in any way, shape or form to possibly heal your body. I'm put my hand up for it. I'm all for it. So what about, what was I going to say? Oh my gosh, I've forgotten what I was getting at. Okay, moving
That's all
right
right.
along.
What else would be fun to explore?
I'll get back to that one. So tell me all about, I'm really intrigued by the body processes. I'm right into my body and how it works and feels. I'm very in tune with that. So what are the body processes with Access, and how do they work on your body?
Well, the bars is one body process, and the facelift is a combination of a whole heap of body processes, all of which are, I guess you could see it as all individual little frequencies, and each frequency is going to do a slightly different thing for your body. So there's a 3-day body class that we can do as well once we've done a bars class and a foundation class. The 3-day body class is 3 days of swapping a whole heap of different body processes within a group of people, and some of them are quite esoteric and obscure. Some are about opening up unlimited energy, unlimited possibilities, different types of physiology, so opening up capacities in our body that have laid dormant. Whole heap of things, or shifting trauma.
Yeah, and I'm really big on the energy, because just to put it in, like, not everyone's probably where we're at in their journey of this reality that they're living in. And so we've gone through some profound changes in our life due to having our chronic diseases, I guess. So what I equate this, all the energetic frequency stuff, healing stuff to, is to like when you walk into a room full of people and you can feel the energy, or when you're around somebody that you don't really gel with, you can feel that sort of energy, can't you? Your body sort of contracts or expands, and that's why I just love all the energy processes with Access, because they just really make sense to me. That's probably what I'm getting at. Yeah.
And they give clarity to what we already perceived in a subtle way, but didn't have words for. And once you acknowledge them, you can actually start to use them to your advantage, instead of walking into a room and feeling uncomfortable and thinking it's something about you or something that's wrong with you, jumping straight to, I must be anxious. That awareness of energy can be a way of your body telling you, hang on, this is not a great place for you to be right now, for whatever reason.
Mm. Yeah, I think I might have mentioned to you maybe when I had one of my grandchildren around, I think the energy of his fear with the cat and the cat sensing it, I think the cat wants to run away and all that. It's just that, that's just what I've picked up on, that fear energy, it's sort of scaring the cat. Maybe it was really interesting to watch here one day. So
Yeah.
it's pretty amazing. I love the access. And you do Reiki as well in your sessions?
Yeah, I'm still a Reiki master and I still incorporate it in some sessions. Not as much as I used to. I do tend to go towards access tools and also another modality that is called Peloa. That's one from Australia.
Yes. What's the Peloa one? Can you explain?
That one works out on the etheric body. So you're working around in that energetic field around the body. And it's a very high vibration and it helps activate capacities in our body as well, helps open up awareness. So in that way, it's great for expanding consciousness and awareness like access consciousness is. So it's quite complementary.
Mm. Oh, yeah.
And it also helps amplify your other healing modalities. So if you're already attuned or trained in other healing modalities and you learn Peloa on top, you'll find that all the other ways you're working tend to become even more potent.
And whereabouts do you learn the Peloa training?
To learn levels 1 and 2, you can do that with me. I hold classes every so often, about once a month, once every 2 months, just based on demand. And then if you wanted to be able to teach it yourself, only Kachina Man, who channeled Peloa as the healing modality, teaches that level 3, which then allows other people to teach levels 1 and 2.
Right.
Yeah, based in Queensland. Yeah.
It's very interesting. So I'm blown away by the whole access consciousness, and I am very grateful that my cousin mentioned it to me, and I'm so grateful that I discovered you. And I'm even more excited that you've moved a bit closer to me now.
I know.
So there's one question that I want to ask before you go, but have you got anything else that you'd like to add to that?
No, I guess the encouragement that don't think you're ever at a dead end. Just ask another question. What else is possible here? What information do I require? What could change this? Because those little breadcrumbs of information will start dropping into your awareness, and it's never the end.
Yeah, that's great advice. And that's why, I'm doing what I'm doing too, because a lot of people aren't aware of what is out there, different to the conventional medicines and treatments. So I'm really hoping that I can create that awareness for them through this podcast and everything else that I'm doing. So the last question I want to ask, and you can say, I have no idea if you want.
Okay.
I don't want you to say that, really. So what would be the first thing you would say to somebody who has just been diagnosed with a chronic disease? Because I know that it's quite frightening and you're in a space of like shock. So what would be the first thing you would say to somebody that's just been diagnosed with a chronic disease? It's a toughie, isn't it?
Yeah. And I think what it comes back to is, okay, what's my body trying to tell me?
Yes, that's great.
What's the message you need to hear?
I love that. I'm going to use it now. No, I won't. Oh, thank you so much. I'm so excited to have you on. And yeah, we had our funny little techie things before we got to this point. And I've loved listening to you and everything that you're sharing with the world. And all of Caroline's stuff, all her classes and session times, I will put in the show notes. And thank you again. Grateful that you could. My pleasure. Maybe we'll do it again soon.
Sounds like fun.
Okay.
All right.
Have a great day.